This is episode number 73 of the Homeowner Show. Whether you're DIY or looking to hire, we're here to help you find the best information and options for you and your home. My name is Kevin Hackett, and here with me is Craig Williams.
Hello, and welcome to the Homeowner Show. We're glad that you could join us today, this fine day.
Fine day.
To be on the Homeowner Show.
Well, yeah,
so
it is.
That's not better than Chelsea's jingle.
No, not even close.
So.
Did we didn't even put that in the bump.
We didn't put it in the bump, but it was in the show.
Yeah, it was there.
So she sang it to me the other day. I ran into her. She knows it still.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Chelsea, if you're out there, you're listening, you just need to send us like a video of you singing the Homeowner Show so we can put it in the bump.
We'll put it in. Yeah, no doubt.
On the YouTubes as well.
On the YouTube.
In the interwebs.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, but before we get into much, we have some shout outs to give because we got some new reviews.
Yeah, we do.
Before you get into the thank yous, I mean, like, because the biggest part of this is that we beat Bob Vila. We now have more reviews
more than him
than the Bob Vila podcast.
If you don't know who Bob Vila is, you're just living under a rock.
Well, he's living under our rock because we got more reviews than him.
Boom, Vila.
That's right.
What are you going to do now?
Yeah, your tools are in Lowe's now.
All I remember, like, the thing I remember most about him is that he was on Tool Time.
Like, are you talking about, like...
With Tim the Tool Man Taylor.
See, there's a guy we need to have on the show.
That would be really good.
If we could get him and Al, which I don't know his real name, but...
Well, if we could get him, Nick Offerman, and
all at the same time,
Bob Vila, all at the same time, then we've got something going.
Would you be okay with us mocking Bob about us having more reviews than him?
We kind of already are.
I mean,
on live?
Yeah.
Well, yes, absolutely.
Because he's an older guy now. I think I could take him.
I'm willing.
He got a little uppity with me.
Well,
no.
I'm fine with that. we beat the Vila.
That's right.
What are you going to do now? Yeah, well, so we do have some new reviews that we want to thank people for. We've got one here from Fat Joe 54321.
Thank you, Fat Joe.
That's right. Great podcast that covers a variety of topics. Hosts are down to earth. Yes, we are.
Yep.
Reliable. No, that doesn't say that. This is relatable.
Relatable. And
talk about a variety of relatable topics for their audience. It's awesome. TX Wine Brat says, thanks for having me and enjoyed your past podcast. Great info and service to the community. And then we've got HS Cruises saying these guys are so easy to listen to. I love that they give a wide variety of topics to listeners.
Yep.
And we have a new one that just came out on Friday from CCSTOHN. I don't even know. CC Stone.
CC Stone.
Yeah, maybe that's who it is. Kevin and Craig do a great job of finding topics with things you need to know. They are easy to listen to and feed off each other well. Great podcast.
Look, I find all of these reviews to be highly accurate and reliable.
And relatable.
That's right.
All of the above.
So yeah, thank you guys for the reviews, and we actually hit another big milestone with these. We got our first 1-star review.
1 star.
Yes,
that's a 1 star.
You know you're making a difference when people intentionally give you a 1 star.
I thought you were going to talk about our downloads or something, but
no.
Not our downloads at all. This has something to do with how terrible we are.
I was pretty proud of the 1 star. I was like, man, we finally said something that really just got to somebody, and like they felt so compelled about whatever it was about the show that bothered them. They felt the need to leave us 1 star.
I wonder if it was the water guy who was running for office. Maybe it was him. That we asked him to come on the show, but we
gave him the opportunity.
Yeah, so he didn't like us very much.
Politically expedient.
Well, what are you gonna do?
But anyhow, so if you guys listen to the show last week, you guys heard me talk about my leak that I had going on in the yard. So I did what I said I should do, which was called JC's leak detection. And so Jim came out. He found it in like 10 seconds.
10 seconons.
Yeah,
he knew exact. He didn't even have to.
No,
did he
it
have
was
to pressure test or anything.
No.
He just went. It's probably over there.
Yeah, no, it was pretty obvious. There was a puddle.
Well, yeah. I mean, there was a puddle, but it was like right up next to a tree and
next to some concrete. And
Yeah.
So it ended up being like the water pipe was underneath like this 150-foot pine tree that had a I forget what kind of trees are that bloom. Anyway, it was a smaller ornamental tree right next to the pine tree, and both the sets of roots had gotten on top of that pipe and just like cracked it.
oh,
And so
I guess that makes sense.
So I ended up actually working, doing some of the work with him just because I wanted to know what was going on. We ended up having to like basically cut a piece of concrete out of our porch, fold it back like a taco, and then go around underneath that in order to relay the pipe. And so for like a week, we had like just this weird piece of U pipe sticking up out of the ground in order to fix the leak till we could crack the concrete, dig up underneath it, retrench the whole thing.
So was this an expensive fix or was it pretty inexpensive?
It was expensive.
Okay.
I mean, but like, you're talking about like diagnosis and repair.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things you always got to take into account is these guys.
It wasn't outlandish or anything like that. It's what I would have expected to pay to do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we have to remember that the guys know what they're doing and they can find something in 5 seconds.
Right.
They deserve to get paid.
It's because they've been doing it a long time. They know exactly what they're doing. That's the guy you want.
It saves you a lot of money too. So
or the gal. I mean, gals can leak detect.
Of course.
Kevin.
I mean, well, I'm neither a gal nor a leak detector.
How dare you gender plumbing?
That's like my favorite. My daughter's favorite thing to say right now is "How dare you?"
How dare you?
She's 7 years old, y'all. And like everything, I'm like, hey, come over here and feed the dog. And she's like, hey, how dare you? Like, what are you even talking about? How dare I? How dare you?
Does it work though? I mean, that's
it's pretty funny.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. You know those moments, like we had a moment the other day where my son was mocking everything. Like he was mocking my daughter, and we were at the dinner table, and my wife was like, hey, listen here. And he said, hey, listen here. It's pretty hilarious. And I'm over there like laughing, gut laughing. And she's like straight face, like, don't talk to me that way.
She walked right into it. Yeah. Didn't see it coming.
It's hilarious. Anyway, well, yeah, leak detecting, man. That's the guys that do that, they know their stuff.
It's a specialization.
Yeah.
For sure.
No doubt.
So anyway, we got a really cool episode for you guys for this week.
Yeah.
Is that the way we doing things now? By the week?
Yep. By the week.
Still doing it by the week. So we got Beth Elliott in the studio to talk to us about fixed home warranties. How you doing, Beth?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here and coming all the way out to the boonies, to the Homeowner Show studios. It's a little bit of a trek. So, but we're glad you could make it. It's always nice to have people live in studio.
Yeah.
Not to begrudge anyone that we bring in remotely.
Well, and that just doesn't happen nearly as often, though.
Right.
I mean, it may wind up happening more in the future, but at the moment, we have people in the studio most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah, unless it's Haley. She's
the exception.
That's
right.
We love you, Haley.
But she's coming back in. We're doing another interview with her.
Yeah.
Coming up soon. So
yeah, that one's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be really good.
So anyway, Beth, tell us a little bit about Fixed, how you got started, what's going on here.
Sure, absolutely. So Fixed, we are a home warranty / home services company, kind of on demand for home services. So our company was originated by two gentlemen, one on the tech side, one on the service side, that knew home warranty was broken and had been for a while. And they got together and said, how do we fix this? So they both had experience in home warranty and services and things like that. So two of the biggest concerns that past issues with other home warranty companies is the home warranty company is basically a third party, or I'm sorry, they're middleman between the homeowner and the third party.
Right.
So for instance, something goes wrong in your home. Usually the first time you call them, you're calling your realtor asking who your home warranty was through at closing. And then once you get that information, you're finding how to call them or how to get in touch with them. You're looking on the website. You finally get in touch with them, usually after hours, because of course nothing happens during 9 to 5. You're leaving a message. You're waiting for somebody to call you back. When they do call you back, you have to wait for them to schedule a third party. And sometimes that can be weeks out. Third party companies are contracted with home warranty companies, and they're paid a certain price per job. So most of the time, the other big concern that people with bad experiences with home warranties have had is the quality of work.
Right.
So, they call a third party out. It benefits the third party, and this doesn't happen all the time. I'm not speaking for all third party companies, but a lot of times they will Band-Aid a repair because if they get called back out, they make more money.
Right.
Whereas our technicians actually work for our company. So our technicians not only work for our company, we strongly vet them, they're background checked, they're drug screened. And because we are a technology company, everything is done through the app. Right. So you put the claim in the app, you schedule a 2-hour window for a technician to come out.
A 2-hour window.
2 hours.
So no longer am I waiting, half of the day.
Or all of the day.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, that was a whole nother issue. Actually, it was the same problem.
Kevin's having flashbacks, y'all.
Oh my goodness. Well, some of y'all may remember, I went on a little bit of a tirade back in one of our earlier episodes on a garbage disposal problem that I had, and man, that was an absolute fiasco, but I'm glad to hear that 2-hour window. You've already got me hooked. Yeah.
Major.
Kevin's checking off the list over there.
Exactly.
So not only a 2-hour window, but you get a text message when the technician's en route, and you pull up the app and you track the technician all the way to the house. So I always make a joke. It's like you don't have to worry about running to check the mail and missing the technician pulling up.
Right.
Because they definitely don't stick around. So yeah, you get notifications exactly where they're at, when they're going to arrive. You get a picture of our technicians so you know who's coming to your house. That's another big thing. Just personal safety. I'm a female. So even when my husband's not home, knowing who's coming to the door and being able to recognize and be like, okay, that's somebody that's actually supposed to be here.
Yeah. And I would imagine some of these things that you've brought up already are things that differentiate you guys from other warranty companies. We've had a home warranty. I've never been sent a picture of someone that's coming to my house.
Yeah.
Just they tell me the name of the company.
Yeah.
But even then, sometimes they show up and it's an unmarked truck or whatever.
Well, I think a lot of times they don't even know who's going to show up,
because they hire the third party company, and sometimes even just the main person is licensed and the people under them aren't necessarily vetted or anything like that. So they don't really know who's coming to the door.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, one of the things that I'm kind of curious about is you're talking about these people are your own technicians. So walk me through that process a little bit, because, the number of items that a home warranty covers, that's a pretty vast amount of things, from appliances to, all kinds of stuff. So
sure.
Are your technicians trained in all of those things, or do y'all have specialty people? How does that kind of work?
Currently, we have specialty people. We are working with our technicians right now to cross-train, which is going to be huge for us to have a technician that works in multiple fields and multiple specialties. But it's also a huge benefit to them to have that skill. So yes, we are working on doing some cross-training in a couple different areas, especially the areas that we might not get as many calls on, that we might not be able to employ somebody full time. So picking up those areas and things like that.
What might be some of those more obscure items that you guys do cover, but may not be something? I'm trying to think of. Would pool equipment or something fall underneath that?
We do have a pool person,
right?
That's specifically for pools. I'm thinking for the most part, the only thing I can think of off the top of my head is a locksmith.
Oh.
Because we do free rekeys with our whole home plan.
Oh, wow.
Up to 6 locks. So that's one profession that we do outsource to.
Okay.
Just because
That's
we don't
very
get
specialized.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of. I mean, we get them, but not as often as HVAC or plumbing or electrical, things like that.
Yeah, and I imagine those two are kind of the most common ones, or HVAC, plumbing.
Yes, the main ones:
Appliances.
HVAC, plumbing, electrical, and appliances. Yeah. So we do cover pools. We do have septic options as well.
That's an interesting one. I mean, like, and I know that's probably more applicable. I don't know. Maybe that's more. I think of that being more of a Texas thing than maybe I should. I mean, I guess that happens in other states, but
actually, we just opened our market in Phoenix, Arizona, and all of Phoenix runs on septic systems.
Really interesting.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, so what's covered as far as septic systems?
I'm not a technician. I don't know because we did just add it not too long ago.
Right.
I know that we do include one free pump.
Okay.
So that's huge in the septic world.
Yeah.
I've never personally owned a septic system, so I'm also not familiar with that side of it. But yeah, they will come out, and we do have somebody on staff that would take care of that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, one of the things that I've been personally kind of affected by with home warranty is I get the impression with most home warranty companies that they don't want to accept your claim. I mean,
absolutely.
And I get it. I mean, it's a business, right? But not only that, they make it a hassle for you as a homeowner. For instance, you call them and say, my water heater is busted, which did happen to me. Something's wrong with my water heater. So they say, okay, well, we're going to call a company and they're going to have to come out and check it. And if it's bad and we accept the claim, then they will have to come back to actually do the repair. Whereas if you call Burke, for example, one of the guys has been on our show before, he's going to show up with a water heater on his truck. And if you need a new water heater, he's going to replace it right then and there, and you're not having to wait on a technician more than once. And you're getting a different level of service from just calling a plumber specifically. Calling a home warranty, it's a hassle, and a lot of them have like a deductible. Maybe it's a $75 deductible or something, and if they deny your claim, you're out $75 and you still have a problem. So kind of walk me through how y'all maybe when a claim comes in. I mean, y'all are still a business and you have to make sure that there's an actual need there. But how does that differ from, say, a Joe Blow home warranty company?
Sure. So I'll start off by saying that our service fee starts off at $50. So you're not out.
She knocked $25 off for you right there.
There you go.
Just you, Dom.
Just me.
So our service fee starts off at $50 for our technicians to come out. I'm not going to say that it never happens, where most of the time we do have to go out and do a diagnosis just to see what the problem is.
Sure.
Make sure that it's not a pre-existing issue. But our technicians are in constant contact with our service center and with our home office through the app. So there's no, and we do vetting. So when you put a claim in on the phone, it's going to ask you some preliminary questions.
Yeah.
And kind of get some background. If it's a bigger HVAC, plumbing issue, electrical, things like that, you may get a text message or a call from our home office asking for even more detail. You can even upload pictures into the app for the technician. So the more information that he has before obviously coming out to diagnose, the better. But that's the one thing with our in-house technicians is that even if they have to come out for a diagnosis and return, it's still one job. It's not multiple jobs. It's not separated in any way.
You're not getting tagged with 50 every time.
Exactly.
Right.
And our technicians don't get paid kind of like third parties do by the job. They want to fix it right, and they want to fix it the first time that they're there, because they're not getting any more by coming back out to fix it again. So that is where the quality of the service and the quality of the repair. We also ask for feedback in our app. So after a technician finishes a job, you get a PDF in your email with all the notes and pictures of exactly what they did. It's always referenceable in your app. So let's say you did have a water heater issue. They came out, they fixed it, and 6 months down the road, something happens to it. You can pull up that job repair in your app and look back at it. And then we ask for you to rate our technicians a 1 to 5 star, just like you would an Uber driver or anything like that. So we kind of hold them to a higher standard. So it's basically putting the home warranty in the homeowner's hands in the fact that there's not a lot of wait time in between. It's not having to call a third party back out. It's literally you're talking to a specialized team in our home office or our service center, which is right here locally.
Yeah. It sounds like you guys are kind of like part home warranty, part technology company.
Yes.
I mean, because I mean, like I've had home warranties for a while now. I can't remember any of them having an app.
Yeah.
I mean, like that seems to be something that would differentiate you guys.
Oh, absolutely. The technology that comes along with it, and the we focus on keeping up with what our consumers want. So we're always kind of changing it, upgrading it, evolving it, making it a better product.
Yeah.
So when I started with the company, we had a 4-hour window. Now we have a 2-hour window.
Okay.
So just little, I mean, it sounds like a little change. It's a huge change.
That's a huge change.
Well, for the homeowner, it winds up being massive.
They get their day back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and if you work close to home, you just wait for the technician to message you and then head there.
So what are some of the I mean, just because I'm curious now, like what are some of the key features that you guys offer on that app?
So immediate scheduling. So it can be midnight and your HVAC goes out. You literally go into the app, you click claim, you click exactly what's wrong with it. There's even an option that says, I don't know. And then it pulls up
every time.
It pulls up a calendar and you literally pick the 2-hour window on what day you want. It has up-to-date availability on there, things like that. So just having that convenience, being able to not get on the phone, not call anybody. I mean,
wait on hold,
wait for them to call you back.
Mm-hmm.
That whole mess is kind of eliminated. And then just that constant contact. You always kind of get updates on what's going on. Even if there is by chance a scheduling issue, you're going to get notified immediately. They're going to tell, it's just eliminating. It's that convenience factor, but also the immediate gratification factor.
Okay. So one question that I've got is, so if you put a claim in, and are all the terms kind of spelled out somewhere for you, so that, I mean, because I think a lot of times one of the things that people get into is like, oh, I think this is covered, and I put a claim in, and I have to pay the deductible immediately, and then they call me back and are like, well, that's not covered. Is there somewhere that kind of lines out all of the things that you cover? Absolutely.
So our terms and conditions are extensive for a reason, but it's also everything's referenceable in the app. So if I'm trying to think of something that wouldn't be covered. For instance, we don't cover ceiling fans. That's a just off the wall one that popped into my head.
Yeah.
But that's outlined in the terms and conditions. It is lengthy, and I know, it's kind of the quote unquote fine print.
Sure.
But we have it available on our website. You get a copy of it with your agreement. I even have different sections mapped out of like common questions I get from people, so that I can forward them, right away. But yeah, it's very clear and defined. And we actually just got the green light. We took off, all of our caps on all of our major areas. So I don't know are you guys familiar with caps are?
No.
Okay. So a cap is basically, there's usually a per claim cap, which is a maximum that
you can
money wise,
spend.
exactly.
Okay.
That you can spend per claim. And then there's an annual cap, we've eliminated those on everything
Oh, wow.
except for appliances, pools and spas, and septic.
Okay.
Wow, yeah, that winds up being pretty big. I mean, when I had my water heater, they basically said, well, we're only going to cover, I don't remember what it was, maybe $1,500, and if it winds up being anything else, then
It's out of pocket.
yeah, it's out of pocket on that. So that is a pretty big perk for sure, I would say. One other question I've got is like, I mean, I think a lot of times people wind up with home warranties because they bought a new house.
Yes.
And then after that, they're like, never really used it or whatever, or they get frustrated, and so they don't buy it again. I guess one of my questions is, do y'all see multiple people repeating year after year after year?
Yes, we have one of the highest renewal rates in the industry.
Wow.
And one of the reasons is we're the only home warranty company. Our renewal rates go down at renewal. And I always make a joke. I say, we want to marry our homeowners. We don't want to date them for a year.
Yeah.
Because a lot of home warranty companies will give huge discounts in the beginning. And then when it comes to renewal time, they'll double. And I've even had somebody that said that a home warranty company wouldn't renew with them because they had too many claims.
Huh.
And I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, so our renewal rates go down. Existing homeowners have the option of doing annual plans or monthly plans. If you are an existing homeowner, it's just a 30-day wait period before you can file a claim.
So do you save money by paying annually?
A little bit, yes.
A little bit, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and then to kind of circle back around to what you were talking about with the caps, what were those for homes? And not necessarily, and like maybe like across industry, what's like the average? Because I imagine most other companies kind of have like an average cap rate for what they spend on a home. And I'm asking for a reason because I had an incident in my home where I was like, I can't believe these guys are spending this much money. You know, and I was like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm not familiar with like the industry standards.
Right.
But for instance, our annual cap on HVAC was $6,000.
Okay.
And it's just, we found it to be more efficient to just not have them.
Just not have it. So I'll tell you what happened with us is we had a home warranty, and the dishwasher went out, and guy came out, did diagnosis, and replaced a part. Cool. Still didn't work. 10 trips later, he's essentially rebuilt the entire dishwasher. And I'm like after trip 5, I'm like, guys, I mean, I don't know how much you're paying for this guy, but I think you could have bought the new dishwasher by now.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, no, he's got to keep coming and fixing it. And I'm like, really? Like, this doesn't seem like efficient use of your money, his time, or mine. I mean, like, let's just replace this thing. Like, it doesn't seem like it's going to get fixed.
And I mean, that happens. We do it a little bit differently because of our technicians. Our technicians are able to, they're trained to say, okay, if it's going to cost more to fix it than to replace it, then they're like, we just need to replace it. Like it's common sense. But when you get into working with third parties and technicians and maybe somebody that's not super trained or knows that they can have that communication.
Yeah, and you said something a minute ago that made a lot of sense to me. You said that our technicians, it really behooves them to fix the problem.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? I going back to the disposal problem that I had, when the guy got there hour and a half after my 4-hour window that I was given,
So you were in a good mood.
It started off bad to begin with, right? So he gets there and he said, so you got a disposal problem? I said, he goes, yeah, we hardly ever are able to complete a claim on that. And I said, really, why? And he goes, well, for example, my boss told me this morning, hey, you got a disposal today. Make sure that you do not put that in. And I said, are you kidding me? Like, he told you before he even knew the problem that you shouldn't install a new disposal for me? And he said, oh, yeah, it happens all the time because most of the time disposals are this, that, blah, 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 blah. And before he even stepped into my house, he's telling me that he's going to deny this
it.
claim. Mm-hmm. And so you telling me off the bat that your technicians, that you're trying to fix that for your customer, it's so much different, because not only is because at this point, the third party is dictating what the home warranty is even going to be allowed to do, right? The third party is telling their technician, don't do this. And then it looks bad on the home warranty company. Whether they would have approved that or not doesn't really matter, because this is the guy that's stepping into my home right now. So y'all have a much different vested interest in that, it seems like to me.
Yes, absolutely. And another problem that arises is, especially, during the heat of summer, HVAC, it happens often. And I hear stories all the time about, they denied the claim, but then, the third party company is already there, and they're like, well, it's not covered under your home warranty, but we'll fix it for you.
Right.
That happens a lot.
A lot. And we have upfront pricing in our app as well. So if you know exactly what needs to be fixed, you can go into the app, into the pricing tool, pull it up, and it's almost going to give you to the dollar estimate on what it would for us to come out and replace it.
Okay. So you're telling me that if something isn't fixable or it's not covered under the warranty for whatever reason, that your technician could still come out and do the job?
So we have two sides to our company. They kind of they follow under the same umbrella, but so we are home warranty and home services. So we're on-demand home services in the fact of, even if you don't have a home warranty, you can use our app for home services.
Oh, okay.
So technically, yes, if one of our technicians came out and said it wasn't covered under home warranty, you could immediately know exactly what it would be to fix it. Okay. Either through the app, or sometimes our technicians will call our home office, but yeah, they would be able to do that.
Okay. Let me ask you another question about the app specifically, because it seems to me one of the things that's really cool is being able to take a picture.
Oh, absolutely.
So if I've got a picture of something that's clogged, for example, I can show you, and hopefully your technician's going to be able to put a part on their truck, right?
Yeah. So they have access to those pictures and those notes that you upload. So the homeowner has an app, and all of our, we call them fixed pros. All of our fixed pros have apps as well. So their apps are on the service side, obviously. But they connect and they get all that information. So they get the notes, they get the pictures, and they can kind of preemptively, hopefully, have what they need, so they don't have to make another trip back or anything like that.
So that's fantastic. So another question is, is the app the only way to file a claim?
No,
because,
no.
Goodness knows, there's plenty of people out there that need home warranties that just are not,
they're using flip phones.
Exactly. Yeah. And if they're not using a flip phone, they're, like, for example, my grandma, she got a smartphone. Her daughter gave her one of her old smartphones, and my cousin, as soon as he found out that my grandma got a phone, he goes, "Oh no," because she didn't know what to do with that thing. And so, surely there's got to be another way to file a claim, right?
Carrier pigeon.
Perfect.
You guys offer that, right?
Yes, that's included. No,
a team of carrier pigeons.
You never know.
With the fixed logo on the side.
Exactly. No, you can still, we have a dedicated team at our home office in Dallas that you can still call in and make a claim. You can do it through our website as well. So if they're not app savvy, there's definitely options.
It's weird that that's even a phrase now.
App savvy.
App savvy.
Yeah, goodness.
And we all knew what she was talking about.
Yeah. Well, at least you did. Yeah, but the other thing that's good about that, like, surely I could call in and be like, "Listen, here's what's going on. Is this covered?"
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
Absolutely. Yeah. If it's something that's questionable, that's what our customer service is there for. So yeah, they can answer any of those questions and know the terms and conditions like the back of their hands.
Okay. What about, like, do you have tiers of, or is it just like I buy a home warranty through y'all, and it kind of covers everything. Because I know some will cover general things, and then if you want appliances, it's even more. And
you can add on things.
You can add different kind of categories of items.
Yeah. So I didn't bring one of my brochures with me, so I apologize. I know. Came completely unprepared.
Borrowing my daughter's phrase. How dare you?
How dare you?
She could show us on the app though.
I can actually.
If you were app savvy.
Yeah.
If no, we have our basic plan starts off at $415, and that's your very basic. That's your HVAC, your plumbing, your electrical.
$415
annually. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. $4.15.
I'm sure that's exactly what she means. $4.15 a year.
And my phone starts blowing up.
415. Got it.
Yes, 415.
Got it.
We have our fixed favorite, which is kind of our mid plan, the most popular one. It's $500 per year, and then we have that includes things like appliances, and then we have our whole home plan, which is $650 per year. And that includes everything. That includes a standalone ice maker, wine fridges, things like that.
Does it
kind of the luxury items.
Does it cover things like irrigation systems?
No, we do not get into sprinkler systems. Sprinkler systems, if anybody has owned one or had an issue with one in the past, they are a headache.
Prone to break.
Yes, they are prone to break, and they're hard. They're difficult to fix, to find.
Well, it's hard to know what the cause is. I mean, because all I got to do is hit something with my lawnmower, and I can say, well, it just kind of broke.
Yeah,
it's easy to lie about, right?
Yeah. Another thing we don't get into is portable hot tubs. Those are not covered.
What is it?
I get into them.
That was good. I walked into that
one. Me too. How far are we going to go with this analogy here?
He walked in, he jumped.
whatever it takes.
Are you talking about the ones that like aren't built in?
Yes.
I got you. Okay, like the patio. Okay.
Because those break often, and
well, this could be kind of a fun exercise. Let's see if we can come up with things and see if they're covered. Let's see. Wells.
No.
Okay. Saunas.
No.
That's
the first time I've been asked that one.
Okay.
That's a new one.
Given ideas here. So it's garbage disposals.
Yes.
Garbage disposals are covered, Kev.
Yes.
There you go.
Finally. Finally, garbage disposal. And to be fair, it's not even. They weren't even saying that it's not covered. They were saying that the problem that my garbage disposal was having wasn't covered. My problem was you couldn't fix it. I mean, it was some kind of crazy clog, and he couldn't get it working. And so I'm going, okay. At some point, there's something wrong with this disposal. And he said, no, it's just clogged. I said, well, then fix it. And he said, no, it needs you need a new garbage disposal. And I said, what are we doing right now? Like, that's exactly the problem. I need a new garbage disposal because it won't work. And anyway, this was the problem I was having.
You're caught in a loop, man.
It was a ridiculous, like, Groundhog Day loop.
Well, and let me ask you a question that's purely selfish, because you're on our property now, and this is kind of a unique property. Like, we've got some mother-in-law quarters, we got guest quarters, all that kind of stuff going on. Like, could we get in that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So our plans that I quoted are for homes up to 6,000 square feet.
Right.
We do have condo pricing that's a little bit lower, and we do have what we call our mansion pricing, which goes up to 10,000 feet.
I don't want people thinking that you just said that I live at a mansion.
Well,
not at all.
All you got to do is take a look. It's not a mansion.
We got some square footage, but like it's not.
But really, do you all have more than 6,000 square feet under roof?
I don't know, because like my garage is actually bigger than my house.
Yeah, your garage is really big.
So, and it's 2 stories.
Yeah, so it would all depend on also the level of coverage you wanted for everything.
Right. Because like the situation I'm in is like the building that we're in right now has the apartment upstairs that has separate air conditioning. And then the guest house across the way has its own septic, separate air conditioning, separate appliances. And then the big house, I say big house, has its own stuff going on. So would that all fall under one plan, or how would that?
We'd have to take a look at everything and see exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing with us is we could customize it.
Okay.
To make it work for you.
Yeah. Is it possible to say, I want...
Before you even ask the question. Yes, Kevin.
I'm the king.
Now you know the question to ask. You make it a good one.
That's right. Now you got me thinking. Are my horses covered? So could you say, for example, with a property like this with basically 3 structures on it, could we say we want this structure and this structure only to be covered?
Absolutely.
And with this other one, it's not really something that needs to be covered. Mm-hmm. Okay. That makes sense.
Which I would not want. I want all 3 of them.
Well, yeah, I would think so too.
And if I want to build a 4th one, I want that one too.
Okay. Well, that brings up another question. What if you do build another structure? Like,
you could add it on.
Okay.
It would be considered like an existing homeowner, and you just have to wait the 30 days.
Well, so here's an interesting one for me is like, I know one of the biggest things that I see people doing now is adding outdoor kitchens, which brings in additional appliances.
Yes.
Almost every time there's like fridges and whatever.
Ice makers,
the whole
wine
shebang.
Fridges. Yep.
So like, say you do that, does that then fall under the umbrella, or do you guys, would then homeowner need to like call you and be like, hey, we just did all this stuff. Is this part of, or do we need to, up our coverage?
I would suggest calling just because it may be or it may not be. Extra fridges, we do have fridge add-ons. It's extra $50 per year to add on a fridge. So if you do have multiple fridges, you do have to...
You got to pay for that.
Yes, you do have to pay for that. So, whereas, for instance, if they have a whole home plan and they have those luxury items listed, a wine fridge, standalone ice maker, then it wouldn't affect, the policy that they had. But I would always err on the side of calling our home office and just double checking.
And we may be getting in the weeds here. Just because, like, again, my place is weird, but we got like 6 or 7 fridges.
Yeah.
How would you know I'm talking about the one that you guys are covering? You know what I mean?
Look at you, sneaky.
Do you have like a sticker or something?
We only work with honest homeowners.
Oh, well, now, okay.
I'm out.
Wait a minute, because we all know that ain't true. We all know that's not true.
No, technically, we are getting into a gray area.
Sure,
but, we wouldn't know per se, but you have 7 fridges. That's a lot.
Well, there's 2 apartments, and and then there's the party deck and the whole thing.
My advice to you as a homeowner would be cover the ones that need to be covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
the kegerator probably is the most
top of the list.
It's not the one that you're not going to list.
I don't even know how you. It's an altered fridge at that point. I don't even know how you would cover that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, there's a hole in the side of my fridge. I don't know what happened. There's 2 holes actually.
And you have to be careful too, because a lot of home warranty companies, if you have a fridge in the garage or an outdoor fridge, they won't cover repairs on it because it's not in the environment that it's
not a
made
protected
to be in.
environment. Yeah,
exactly. So,
which the kegerator's out at that point.
Well,
it's in the elements.
Oh, you got to buy another one though.
I will.
You got to do what you got to do.
Man's got to survive, Kevin.
Some things are just important. Well, I one of the things that I appreciate, and one of the reasons we're excited about having you on is to hear that there are options out there. We are a homeowner show, and we're trying to do our best to give our listeners some information that they may not have otherwise. Owning a home is a vast, big project.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't think a lot of people. In fact, I saw someone post a question today on Facebook, and it said, name some things that wound up being more expensive than you expect them to be. The first one that he put down was pet and home repairs.
Yeah.
And because you just don't think about some of those things. And so we're trying to give some information to people.
After last episode, it should have been buying a home.
Right. No, you're exactly right. I mean, there's a lot of things you just don't understand, and most people have an understanding of home warranties because they bought a house, and most sellers are going, listen, I'll just throw this on there because it's not costing me that much money, but it makes my house a little more appealing, and so that's the only real exposure you have to home warranties. But the thing that I'm hearing from you is y'all's is a very different product that I have, and it's honestly roughly the same amount of money as other places. I mean, those prices seem pretty similar to what we renewed ours at whenever we have renewed it in the past. I mean, so y'all are obviously still being competitive as well. So there's another product out there, guys. I mean, do your research, and if there's something out there that you don't really like, then look around. Someone's probably smart enough to have come up with a different option for you. You know,
just takes a little digging.
Yeah.
So do you find that most of the people who are, adding your service on, are they moving away from a pre-existing home warranty company? Are you guys getting added on at closing? Where are you guys typically picking up people?
I would say closings right now.
Okay.
But as we get more name recognition and brand recognition and things like that, I feel like it'll be pretty even.
Are you guys working with some title companies?
More title, any affiliates too. So mortgage, title,
Realtors.
And more realtors.
Yes. But yeah, we work with all the affiliates, and like I said, we're based out of Dallas. We've been there a little over 4 years. We're in Houston, San Antonio, and Austin. And we just opened markets in Atlanta, Georgia, Phoenix, Arizona, and Las Vegas, Nevada. So eventually we will be a national brand. But yeah,
that was a pretty big expansion right there. I mean, that's East Coast, West Coast, and Southwest. I mean, like you're set. It sounds like you guys are setting yourself up in a position to expand from there.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, most right now are closings.
Are people adding that into their mortgage? Or are they just adding that on at closing?
It's usually at closing. So we also offer, what I haven't mentioned yet, is we also offer free seller's coverage. And I don't know are you guys familiar with what seller's coverage is?
No clue.
It's basically
educate us.
It's basically a home warranty during the listing period of your home. So if you're selling your home, the worst time for anything to happen is when you've put it on the market. So we're offering, this is an added value for the realtor to get listings, but also for the homeowners that are selling. So we offer free coverage during the listing periods in the hope that it transfers into buyer's coverage.
Okay.
So that is also helping us, get our name out there. And
So basically you're saying you're giving, so if I'm selling my house, and Craig is buying it, during the time that I am selling my house, I'm covered, and you're hoping that I will offer it to Craig, and because then he winds up taking it over, obviously, after the first year, because y'all did such a great job, then he's going to continue buying, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So usually at most home transactions, the seller pays for the home warranty for the buyer. So we hope that you say, this home's been covered by Fixed. We have the history of the home if there was any repairs done during the listing period. And then also it's my position as a salesperson to reach out to the buyer's agent at that point and introduce myself, introduce the company and why it benefits their buyer. So one of the main things that we do is if it does transfer from seller's coverage over to buyer's coverage, we cover pre-existing.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really big.
So do you guys require any sort of like inspection before you guys take over covering the home or anything like that?
For the seller's coverage?
Well, no, for any of it.
We do if it's a buyer's coverage, and there's a claim within the first 30 days, we will ask for a copy of the inspection report.
Okay. Like the home inspection report. Okay.
But other than that, no.
Okay. And so anything that would red flag on the home inspector's report obviously wouldn't.
Yeah, those wouldn't be covered.
Yeah, which is fair. mean, probably
we are a business.
Yeah. No. I mean, like, if you bought the home knowing that it had a problem, that's not your fault.
Yeah.
Meaning the warranty company, that's not your fault.
But you could also use the app to get those things fixed.
Yes, you can.
Well,
If you're app savvy.
Yeah, I mean, app savvy, but you also have to understand, like, for people out there, like, you have to understand that it's the same with anything. I mean, if you have coverage, it starts at that point. Mm-hmm. It doesn't start before you bought coverage. It happens whenever you get coverage. So you got to be, if your toilet goes out, I guess you got to wait 30 days. Good luck. Hold it. What are you gonna do?
All right. So I got to tell you, I was, in preparing for the show a little bit, I did Facebook stalk a little bit. So there was a particular post that stood out to me that I think will be a good lead in for this question. And the post essentially said, if Uber and Chick-fil-A had a baby, fixed would be its child. Was that the essential?
It was if Uber and Chick-fil-A had a baby and it was raised by home warranty.
There we go.
Oh,
that would be us.
That would be you.
Because we have the technology of Uber, the customer service of Chick-fil-A,
yeah,
and we are home warranty.
Yeah. So with that being said, which I think is a great line that, like, I just won't forget. What that we haven't talked about yet do you think differentiates you guys from the other home warranty companies that maybe we haven't covered yet?
I always use a tagline when I'm talking to a group, and I say, even though we're a tech company, I am a customer service based sales rep. Mm-hmm. We're connected. I am personally connected to the realtors that I work with on a regular basis. And I'm a representation of them to their clients. So if their client has a bad experience, that realtor is no longer going to refer me, and things like that. But I think I would have to say, the convenience, and everybody wants immediate gratification nowadays. Nobody wants to wait on anything. So the faster we can get that done for them, the better.
Yeah.
And I mean, we even have the convenience of, on the app, there's a concierge button that you can go book anything from carpet cleaning to painting to handyman service, lawn care, can all be booked through the app.
Mm.
And those are people that y'all have vetted as well, that you say, hey, our company backs these people as
Absolutely.
well. Okay, cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, and like to your credit, I mean, like we've reached out to, I mean, just being upfront and honest, we've reached out to other home warranty companies to come on the show. And like a lot of the people that we talk to are like, I'd love to come but the company won't let us, and like we're not allowed to go do those kinds of things.
Gotcha.
And it's like, really? Like you're not allowed to come talk about like your products and services to like people who want to talk about your products and services?
Well, I think that's part of the reason. Like, I have to self-admit, when we bought our first house, we had a home warranty on there. A, I couldn't tell you who it was.
Yeah.
And B, we never used them, obviously, which we probably could have at some point. But I wasn't knowledgeable about what home warranty was. And my realtor at the time didn't explain anything. They just, it was included in the closing. Seller was paying for it. They told me basically, it's law. They're supposed to give you 3 options to choose from, or refer 3 at least. Some refer more, but yeah, I had absolutely no idea what home warranty was previous to our now house, my second house. We actually know what it is now, but I know a lot more than I did. But yeah, a lot of homeowners, they don't utilize it, and it's because the knowledge isn't freely given.
Yeah.
Well, and I think warranties are like one of the best businesses to ever get into, because people buy a warranty and lose their paperwork, forget they bought it, don't think it's going to be too much hassle, or I mean, a lot of times what happens is people buy a warranty on something and it goes out and they're like, the technology is so much better. I'm going to buy a new one of those rather than trying to get this one fixed to begin with. So then, it doesn't transfer, the warranty doesn't go with the new product and those sorts of things. And so, warranties can be a really good business if you are on the warranty side of it. Of course, if you have to pay out, you have to pay out, but for a consumer, I think it doesn't always pay off. But I think a home warranty, I think it's different. And the reason I think it's different is because you're getting covered for stuff that, I mean, if you buy a new washing machine, you're covered.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy a warranty on that washing machine anymore, right? So you're not having to buy a warranty for each individual thing in your house anymore.
Yeah, it umbrellas everything.
You cover washing machines, right?
We do.
Okay, there you go.
Perfect.
You want to be speaking out of school.
Exactly. But I think that a home warranty is different in that you should be expecting that something's going to break.
Oh yeah.
You should be expecting that something's going to wear out, or that something, and guess who's responsible? You are responsible, and it's not just as simple sometimes as going out and buying a new part. Sometimes you got to buy a whole new something. You don't have the money for that. $50 to get someone out to fix something is, man, that's way better than me having to go buy a $1,500 water heater.
Oh, absolutely.
And get it installed and those sorts of things. So there's a lot of value in it. The difference is, from what I'm hearing, is y'all's company just does things a little bit different. And to me, finding a warranty company that actually cares about their customers is a big difference in who I'm going to wind up buying one with if I choose to buy one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the good thing about us is, I always tell realtors that are kind of hesitant or is because we have the service side to our app, anybody can try it out once. You can try it out, do a service call for something minor that needs to be done, test out how it works, how it operates, and then choose to go with us. So that's another, facet that other home warranties don't have.
That's good. Well, Craig, what have we not asked or talked about that you think we need to?
I'm sure there's plenty.
I'm sure there is.
We're involved, so there's something lacking.
I mean, we are what we are, right? We really appreciate you taking the time, but we absolutely cannot let you get away until we do the final four.
The final four.
All right, so the final four questions we ask all of our guests, and Craig said he prepped you, but
she's still terrified.
Well, of course. I mean,
we're intimidating guys.
She should be terrified because this is a test. And
I will be graded.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
It's the only test that's counted since high school.
This is the test.
This is the test.
Okay.
All right. Really, it's not that big of a deal. So, if we could answer the questions, anybody can answer the questions.
It's been a while since we've done it. I'm wondering if our answers would be the same.
Well, I think that for me, definitely listening to some of the people's answers, I'm like, yeah, that's probably more me. Like,
I don't even remember what my answers were. And I'm not going to go back and listen.
No, of course not.
Although some people have. Like, recently people have been going back and listening to episode 1. I'm like, Don't do that.
Don't do that. Like, a lot's changed.
We've come a long way.
I hope so. I mean, if we haven't,
at least listen to number 5.
Yeah.
Really hitting our stride.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into this. All right. So the first question is this: what's the must-have tool that you won't leave your house without?
My phone. I mean, it just because we're a technology company. That's where my everything is. Even if like I did today, forget.
She just reached over and grabbed it just to make sure it was still there.
It's still here. But I have all of the information from the brochure on the app. So it's just my calendar's on there. I live by my calendar. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to function without this.
Sure. No, I get it. And honestly, that would probably wind up being my answer too. If I were to go back, my answer was a drill. And let's be honest, I can fix just about anything with a drill. Okay. But if I'm thinking like I mean, I can order a drill on Amazon if I have to.
With your phone.
With my phone. So, and it's, depending on where I live.
Can you favor those?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you can.
Absolutely. And not only that, like, depending on where you live, like, I've got a friend that lives up in Denton, Texas, which is in the Dallas area. They got 1 hour delivery from Amazon. So,
What?
Yes, 1 hour delivery because they live right next to the warehouse, basically.
Oh, there's an Amazon warehouse?
Yeah, up in Denton. And so, getting their stuff super easy. So
I'll tell you the one I hadn't figured out is the treasure truck. Have you guys figured that out yet?
Yes.
Beth is looking at me like, yeah, I know that's the treasure. What's going on with that?
So when I was living in Austin, we had a treasure truck.
Okay.
And I would get the notifications, and you just bring up the map, see where they're at, see if it's something that you would buy.
And they'll just bring it to you right then.
No, you actually have to go to the truck.
You have to go to the truck. Okay.
But you reserve it on the app. And you pay for it, and then you just go and pick it up.
It's like a discounted item or something like that?
Yeah, usually it's like big discounts.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes it's like, I've seen everything from like crab legs to like...
You mean like fresh crab legs?
Yeah, like frozen. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. Yeah.
do they have drills available? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, but like to technology or electronics. So yeah, it just pops up on your phone as an alert.
I've seen one driving around the area before.
I'm sure they're more in Houston, downtown Houston.
But I'm lost right now, y'all, and I feel like I'm by far the least technological person in the world.
What are you lost on?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So Amazon has these. Well, I'll let Beth explain it.
Go ahead.
They have these things, treasure trucks, and it's basically like a delivery truck that's just out roaming around, and you pull it up on the thing on your app. If you're app savvy, you can do this. That's right.
You're becoming more.
I'm going to this well all show long.
You're such a linguist.
I learn a new word every show. But yeah, so basically there's one item that's on that truck, and like usually it's discounted from what I can get. I haven't bought anything from, but I just kind of know how it works. So, and you go to the truck, you reserve it on the truck, and you just go and pick it up. So it's a different rotating thing all the time.
But do they have like multiple of those things on the truck, or it's just they have one thing on the truck?
Usually, I think from what I understand, it's like one thing that they're doing on that truck.
No,
one thing, but multiple of them.
items of that one thing.
But they do run. Well, when I was in Austin,
there's a limited number.
Yeah, there's a limited number, and if it was a deeply discounted item, like they'd be gone, and as soon as you pull it up on the app, they're like sold out.
Wow.
Yeah,
but
I've seen one up here. I mean, like. They've been roaming the woodlands from time to time.
Really? Yeah. That is nutso.
So they're pretty cool to spot. I mean,
they're flashy.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, like they even have like the Amazon trucks that are up around here now. So
yeah. I mean that those are becoming a lot more. I mean, I'm getting an Amazon person delivering my stuff more than I am UPS or FedEx right now.
Oh yeah.
So that's definitely happening.
They're figuring it out.
Oh yeah. All right. Second question. We're gonna caveat this with. Did you already caveat this with her?
We've been through it. She understands.
Okay. So then we're just gonna get into it.
There's nuance.
There is, and we're fine with whatever nuance you choose to go with. So what's a job you've walked away from?
Well, we flipped a house outside of Austin. And we made it into a smart home. So there were a few jobs that me and my husband were going to tackle via YouTube video. But there were a few that we had to walk away from, like tiling a bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
Things like that you watch a video.
That smart tile. It's really hard to know how to put in the smart tile.
But yeah, when it got into like the electricals or anything like that, we kind of stayed away from that. But yeah, my husband was gung ho on.
Were you guys doing like some unique tile, or was it just like standard?
It was actually a backsplash.
Backsplash,
yeah,
which is different.
Yeah, nothing too crazy, but yeah. So it's just little things like that we're like, okay, we'll leave that to the professionals.
Yeah, I understand. Well, Craig, you just reminded me of my favorite joke of all time.
Okay.
Do you know how you scare a unique rabbit?
No.
No clue?
No.
You sneak up on it. I right. That's all I got.
So the rabbit had nothing to do with it.
I know.
Nothing at all.
You could replace that with anything.
Absolutely. All right. That's all I got. All right. Third question. How do you wind down at the end of a long day?
With a glass of red wine.
Oh, that was, man, she was quick with that. That didn't take long at all. Not at all. Well, that's good. It works.
Any brand in particular you're going to time after time? I'm not saying you have too many long days. I'm just I'm looking for recommendations.
Oh, there's a Cabernet. I think I want to say it's Copper Keg.
Okay.
It's pretty.
So is the cab your one you're going to most of the
Yeah. Mostly cabs.
All right. I can dig that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We could probably rabbit trail that pretty quickly too. So let's not do that.
Oh yeah.
Next question. Last question. Kind of. What's the best pieces of wisdom or advice you've ever received?
Wow. I forget what we were talking about earlier. I would probably have to say, man, drawing a blank.
No one has ever given her wisdom or advice.
I've learned it all by myself.
It's all self-taught.
It's all self-taught.
We all got to
Street
be good at
smart.
something.
I think I know it sounds cheesy, but to remain positive.
That's
You
actually
get-
harder for more people than you think. Probably.
It is. Using affirmations and using just keeping yourself around positive people and being that positive for somebody else. One of those sayings, you never know how somebody else's day went.
Yeah.
So yeah, sharing that positivity and just no matter what has you down or what life's given you that day, just remaining on that positive side and kind of looking at glass half full, not half empty.
That's good. I mean, we said this multiple times on the show. Like Craig and I are both very, very big on just having a good outlook on life and, understanding that there's a lot out there to be happy about and be proud of and to live your life to the fullest. So we're definitely on that train for sure.
Yep.
So, well, cool. Well, we only have one other question.
The secret question.
The
fifth question of the final four.
That's right. It's just not catchy. It's like the final five. It doesn't work.
It's not even.
No. So the last question is, how do people find you? If they want to get a hold of you, how would we find you?
Carrier pigeon. I'm just kidding.
Nice.
We're back to that.
Use Leroy.
That's right.
He's the best of the pigeons.
No, you can find me at B Elliott at fixedrepair.com, and that's 2 L's and 2 T's at fixedrepair.com.
And fixed is kind of spelled.
It's FIXD as
There
in
you
David.
go. Yeah.
Okay. That makes a difference.
Yep. I am not going to broadcast my personal cell phone number, but
Come
you can
on.
also.
Everybody's doing it these days.
Everybody's doing it. But also on Facebook, our website is www.fixedrepair.com.
Okay.
FIXD repair.
Yep, FIXD repair. Trying to think what else.
Are you pretty responsive like on Facebook and things like that?
Yes, extremely. I'm in Facebook more than I'd like to admit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the only one you're really active on? Facebook?
That's the only social media platform right now.
Okay.
Working on Instagram,
All right.
things like
Okay.
that. But yeah, Facebook Messenger I feel like is a good conduit.
Yep.
Just because you're able to click on people's profiles, make sure they're real.
Yeah. No,
It's not.
good.
It's puts a face to the name.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, what else, man?
I think that's all we got for this week, man.
I think so too. It's been a good episode. Thank
We
you for
home
coming.
warrantied it up.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for coming on and spending some time with us. I hope this information has been good for our listeners. I mean, for me, it's refreshing to hear that there's another option out there than what it feels like. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just like, man, there's nothing really out here for me, but I need something. So,
but if you didn't enjoy it, I mean, like me and Kevin did, and what's the show really about?
It's all about me. I mean, maybe a little bit about you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all that we care about.
Kevin had fun, y'all.
Hey, you know what? I mean, this is a hobby for us. We're definitely not getting rich off of this deal. If someone wants to help us get rich off this deal, info@homeownershow.com. We will answer.
That is an excellent segue, Kevin, because if you have not yet, you can go ahead and hit the like button on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. You can do the thing on Twitter, whatever it is you do over there, because we don't do Twitter, but we're on Twitter, and you can you can follow us and all that kind of stuff. But subscribe to the show, leave a review, even if it's 1 star, because we'll get a hoot out of that, because we don't really care.
That's right.
And we'll laugh at your 1-star review. It'll be hilarious.
That's right.
Because any press is good press. Is that the way it works?
Press is press.
Well, there's probably some things we don't want reported. But anyway, if you want to give us a 1-star review, that's fine.
Just give us your worst.
Do what your heart leads you to.
At the end of the day, we all know that we're 5-star.
That's right.
So give us what you think is right, and we'll determine whether you're right.
And even with your 1-star, we're still better than Bob Vila.
We're at least more than Bob Vila.
I'm going to tell you, we're averaging 5 stars, and old Bob's sitting around 4. So, you know.
What are you going to expect? That guy's like, how old is he?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if he could make it on our show.
Probably cryogenically frozen.
Probably cryogenically. Yeah, exactly. Well, here's what I have to say. If you're Nick Offerman right now listening to this, call us.
Yep.
I mean,
you can come on the show, and we'll hook you up with a sweet discount to a fixed home warranty.
That's right. All at a discount rate, and you'll be a better person for it.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
Tim Allen, you got to pay full price.
No chance.
You can still come on the show.
That's right,
but there's no discount.
No discount for you. Somehow he can afford it.
He's getting that good ABC money right now.
That's right. Yep, that's right. Well, listen, hey guys, in all seriousness, thank you for downloading the show. Continue to do so. Subscribe if you haven't. Until then, we're here every week, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.